Hello friend, hope today is a good day for you. I hope your family is doing well, I hope you're doing well, I hope your spirit is doing well, and I hope the rank of the sun is not too much. So this is your talent show and I am your talent lieutenant, Mr. Lawrence. So if you have been following my show, you have been seeing the various artists you have been bringing along, their talents, their gifts, how they use them, and I know it has been a fantastic journey. But now, let us look into the Catholic faith. Let's look into the Bible and see how they use their talents and what talents they have. I mean, even people of God do have talents. So, let's get into it. We tend to have David as our first character. We know David is a talented musician, a good dancer, an athlete. Yes, an athlete, because we remember David, he used to herd his sheep and kill lions. You remember his fight with Goliath, when Goliath said that he had spear, a javelin, a sword. He was mighty, big, and he thought David was a flea. But David said that he had only the name of the Lord and a sling, and we still wonder how he won that war. So, yes, you see how God blessed David with numerous talents, and he used his talents to the better end. Again, we have Asaph. When David was praising the Lord, he appointed Asaph and other guys to help him praise and sing for the Lord. So Asaph, he created some very nice lyrics. You can see it in Chronicles, the lyrics that he made when they were praising the Lord. And Asaph is amongst one of the best talented musicians we know in the Bible. So if you're a musician and you want an inspiration, you can look into Asaph. Again, we have King Solomon, wisdom. Wisdom is what God bestowed Solomon with, intellect. So we see Solomon with his beautiful gifts, especially how he made Israel a very fruitful nation because of the wisdom he was given by God. So those are among characters in the Bible who God blessed humongously. Where if we go to saints, we have a variety of saints. We have Saint Cecilia, who I think all musicians know because it's the patron saint of music, not because of her musical abilities, but because during her wedding, when the musicians were playing hymns, they were playing songs, she was singing to the Lord in her heart, and that's how she made it to be the patron saint of musicians. Again, we have Blessed Bartolo Longo. He's from Italy, and funny enough, Bartolo Longo was a high priest Satanist, and he changed camps and he switched to Catholic faith, and he had a talent in playing violins, playing flutes, playing the piano, and at a young age, he hung out with young people, and he also even founded a band, and he made sure that his institution played soothing music. Like we said, he had very good talent in playing the violin and in playing piano, and so he used his talent to make young people smile and nourish their talents. Again, we have Saint Catherine of Bologna. Saint Catherine of Bologna was from she was from an abbess, the Poor Clare's abbess. An abbess is like a monastery, and the Poor Clare's is a foundation that was founded by Saint Clare of Assisi. So Saint Clare of Assisi founded the Poor Clare's abbess, and then we do understand Saint Catherine of Bologna was from that monastery. So Saint Catherine was a very good vocalist, and that was her talent. That's what God bestowed unto her. So we see again Saint Catherine of Bologna. She was a poet, a painter, and a violin. To an extent, on her deathbed, she died playing the violin. So you see her life. Yes, she was elevated to a saint, but she stayed intact to the talents that God had given her. Like we said, she was a poet, she was a violinist, she was a painter, and all this we can see in Saint Catherine of Bologna, and we can see how wonderful the Lord is. Again, we have Saint Codrick of Finchale, again funny story. He was a pirate, and he turned into a hermit when he changed religions. So a hermit is someone who goes into solitude because of a religion. So that's Saint Codrick of Finchale. He was a good composer of songs because he could compose songs in visions that he was given by the Lord. So that's how he became a music composer, very good one that is. And that's the story of Saint Finchale, of Saint Codrick of Finchale when it comes to talents. And lastly, we do tend to have Saint Andrew Kagua. Saint Andrew Kagua was a drummist, and he was a favorite amongst the king of Buganda. He was a leader of the army, and again, Saint Kagua was in charge of the drummist of the king's household. So he played very good bits to the king until he was a favorite amongst the king. And it's funny enough and sad that he died alongside Saint Charles of Luanga. But now if you're a drummist, you can follow Saint Andrew of Kagua. Good inspiration. And not to go so far, remember the parable of the talents, which was told by Jesus. So if you're not familiar with it, the parable of the talents is about a rich master who called his slaves and he entrusted to them talents. So the first slave was given 5 talents, the second was given 2 talents, and the third was given 1 talent. And then off he went. So the rich master went, and now the slaves were left with the talents they were given. So the first slave, who had 5 talents, did well with it, and he multiplied it to 100%. So he had 5, so he had 10 talents. And the second one did the same. He had 2, he was given 2 talents, he made 4 talents. But the third one dug a hole, and that's where he stacked his 1 talent. So the problem came in when the master came back. The master came back and he wanted now to assess what they have done with what he had given them. So the first came forth and showed his profits. The second came forth and showed his profit. The third came forth and told the master that he dug a hole and kept his 1 talent, and this is what he has brought, what he was given. Angry was the master, and he took the 1 talent from the third person, and he was very angry with that third slave because he thought he was so lazy, and he did not improve what he had given him. You see, this story is not about investments. This parable is just merely not about investments. It's about utilizing what you are given. So the master was not angry with the third slave because he did not multiply his 1 talent to 5 talents. You know, he was condemned because the 1 talent he was given, he did nothing with it. It's like he wasted it. So now we're called upon to use our talents to the betterment of other people's lives. Remember, a flame of candle cannot be put out by the dark, but remember, it cuts across the darkness itself. So all the Lord is asking is that every talent that we are given, we should commensurate it to, because we can see that the slaves are not given equal talents, and that's it. God does not give us equal talents, but what we do with our talents is what counts. Because the first slave was given 5 talents, the second slave was given 2, the third was given 1, and the master was not expecting that the third slave will bring him back 5 or 3. He was just simply asking for, if you're given 1, make better of it and bring 2, and the second one brought 4, like that. So invest in our lives, invest in the talents that we are given. Because if you don't use your talents, God will take it away from you, and if he takes it away from you, don't complain, don't get bored. So yeah, so this is the end of our talent show. I hope you had fun and you learned something new. Like, subscribe, get ready for more action. We shall continue with our journey of talents now until we get exhausted. Thank you all. Have a lovely day.